Yo, what's up? I'm Nick.
Hi.
Welcome to Nick and Alex. 今日はアメリカ、ロシア、スペイン、日本、どこの国が一番ナンパが多いとか、ナンパの違いについて話します。So, ナンパ in English, what's ナンパ in English? It's like picking up girls. Yeah, picking up. In America, there's a really popular thing in the early 2000s called pickup artists. You know
Oh,
that?
yes,
そう、
yes.
すっごい流行ってた。俺も読んでたの。その本そう、めっちゃ流行ってた。
でもコーチみたいに
そう。
in Russia we even had like, 授業みたいな。
そう。Yeah, they had it in America. I think they have it in Japan too.
Oh,
like probably even now, but
恥ずかしい本当に。
いや、いいよ別に。だって。
I don't know. I was like whenever I saw that on internet, like YouTube or something, like, oh, I'll teach you something. It was just always so bad.
Yeah, but you get better at it, I'm sure. I mean, there's like some guys just can't talk to girls.
Well, you probably do get better, but like from the girl's perspective, it was just like always such a lame way to approach.
Yeah, でもさ、してなければ別にいいじゃん。Like if they know that you learned that, then it's lame, but the whole point is like, you make it look like you just know how to talk to girls like this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, for them, they just made money out of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, some of them were... But there are videos of dudes who are really good at, like, one girl after the other, after the other, after the other.
But also what I've noticed, like, when you see those videos, there are literally YouTube channels that...
Yeah. I watch them.
Oh, no. But it's just always, well, not always, I guess, but often just guys that go to like an area where girls are completely drunk or like the
I don't like watch that. Like there's this one guy that I watch just because it's really funny because obviously you can't win every time. So he'll put the whole 2 hours of him doing it and of him failing and
right.
of it working.
That's a fair way to do it.
But it's just on the street and he's just like a very like outgoing. Outgoing って日本語でなんだろうまあ、リラックスしてるやつ。Like he's pretty relaxed, so like it works. Like.
Well, I think that's a fair, that's a fair image. You say like, I get sometimes rejected, sometimes accepted, but I'm sure there are lots of guys who are just like filming a lot and then only take the good,
of course.
Successful
Yeah, for sure.
I'm such a cool dude.
But I think as for Nampa culture, Japan probably, they have like, 日本人はさ、何でも言葉にするの。結構言葉を作るのうまいの。
いいんじゃない
Like 例えば夜桜、nighttime cherry blossoms. Like you'd never think of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because it's easy to just put kanji.
Yeah. そう、ナンパっていう言葉があるじゃん。Like だから日本人のナンパは何だろう。Like if you go to a restaurant, Japanese guys kind of go from the bottom. They'll be like, すいません、これから全部払うんで一緒に食べますか Like, it will be like, I'll pay everything. Which I personally don't think is the best way to do it, but that's kind of what it's like in Japan. Drink 買ってあげるよみたいな。
Isn't it? Do you feel like that's from the bottom?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way you present it because 例えばヨーロッパでもロシアでも I think there are a lot of people who do that. They're like, I'll buy you a drink. But they are just kind of like, I'm so cool and I'm so rich. I can, let me buy you a drink.
But I think the whole point of those pickup artist guys is to not buy. Like, like there's guys that try to get the girls to buy everything too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a new level.
Yeah, that's a new level. Yeah. So I think it's mostly from the bottom. Also in Japan, like since they have honorifics, it's hard to like come from like this all of a sudden you're above them type of thing because then you sound like an asshole. Like, おい、来てみたいな。You have to that. すいません、ちょっと一緒に飲んでいいですかみたいな。ですかとか言うの。
Yeah, I guess I did notice in Japan that people are like kind of overly polite and also overly formal, and then you're like, well, we're not in the situation where you're supposed. I mean,
yeah.
You shouldn't be, like make me feel like I am nothing, but at the same time, when you're so formal, I'm like. What is this? Are we in a bar or like in an office?
まあ俺はアートだと思う。その日本人のすごいいつ敬語を使えばいいとかいつタメ口でいいのやつたまにいるの。It's an art, like to be able to like navigate how much you can get away with saying just normal Japanese.
Yeah, I
What about Russia? What's it like in Russia?
Well, I mean, in my personal experience, pretty bad everywhere.
Really?
I mean, bad and not like your type of bad, as in like not that people don't know how to do it. It's just I hate being namped. I have to make
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what they say? There's a saying: girls hate being namped until they stop being namped, because then.
Well, I mean, obviously, it gives you some sort of self. Well, hopefully, not all of your self-worth like comes from that.
Yeah, but some of I'm an attractive person.
Well, yeah, if no one pays attention to you for like a month, especially I remember since people started wearing masks.
Yeah.
Like I get namped way less, and I feel like, I mean, it does a bit, doesn't feel very good. But at the same time, like when it does happen, I completely hate it, and I hate rejecting people, but I always say no. So I'm like, not again. I have to I have to say no, and why am I in this situation? But yeah, anyway. I feel like Russian people are way more kind of like pushy.
Really? Really? Because I've heard people say Japanese guys are very pushy.
Really? Well, maybe I still hadn't had the experience.
Yeah.
But also in Japan, you can always play a card of, すみません、日本語。
もう喋ってんじゃん。英語で言えばいいじゃん。Sorry, I don't speak.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I do that sometimes.
すいません、日本語喋れないです。喋ってんじゃないか。いや、ちょっと行かなきゃいけない。すいません。
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, like, sometimes, whenever I feel like...
めっちゃ面白いじゃん。これからやった方がいいよ。すいません、今これからご飯食べます。本当にすいません。日本語喋れなくて。
Yeah, well, in that case, the person's like, what a weirdo.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I say it in English. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't speak any Japanese, and that really helps.
Yeah, I think in America now, there used to be more like, I can't do that, like guys at the construction site saying, hey, baby, みたいなちょっとうざいやつ. But now, like in America, and I don't think this is a good thing, like, not being a girl, and if she doesn't like you, like if you're an unattractive guy, that just becomes sexual harassment. Like there's a difference between like the beautiful Chad, body is amazing.
So you think the difference is literally between sexual harassment and namping is whether you're hot or not?
Well, I mean, in a lot of cases, yeah. I mean, in the news and stuff, like you can't like approach. I mean, obviously you can, but I mean, there's always that chance,
Well, I feel like there is a very fine line between, what is, whatever we call it.
Well, touching or anything like that's obviously NG, right?
Yeah, but
ちなみに
also...
NG はアメリカ人使わないの。NG, no good?
Yeah.
I think that's
I
a
don't think
Japanese.
anyone
Yeah. 日本人
outside...
が使う英語、NG.
But also, you have to really be attuned to whether the person is... I mean, obviously they can still play, trying to pretend that they're not interested. But there is still... If they're very clearly not interested, you have to feel that. And if you don't stop right there, then it's...
でも結局さ、空気読めないやつが多分一番ナンパうまいの。わかる Like, because they don't have any, 恥ずかしくないし、断れても心が痛くないとか。
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty good.
That's why I'll never be good at it.
Oh, you're such a sensitive guy.
Yeah, I'm such a sensitive guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, those are the guys, I think, the girls who don't agree at the end, they hate the most. Because I just, like, when people don't understand, no.
Is this wrong for me to think? Sometimes I feel like when a girl hates you at first, she'll end up liking you a lot more later. Like, oh god, I can't stand this guy.
I don't know. I think that's an interesting fetish, but whether it's true or not.
I don't know. I was just wondering.
I mean, they call it like what, tsundere here?
Yeah.
They're kind of like very much.
Yeah. That's what tsundere is.
It's a type of I mean, I'm sure they exist outside of anime as well, but.
Well, like how can I explain? Like originally, like now society's so like declined. Like there's like rap songs like "Have sex with me now," like stuff.
Was that always rap like?
No. But I mean, like the rock songs too, right? But like in the 1950s, like what you would do is like, "Hey, darling, you want to go for a walk?" And she's like, "Good day, sir." And like she'd like walk away, and then you'd be like, "Wait," and then she'd be like. You'd have to like chase. I mean, that's like the image that you have from like old style,
Yeah, well, I don't even think that's old style. I think that's just normal. But these days, like, things like Tinder, they make it like fast food dating.
Yeah,
it's like, yes or no? Like, are you going to sleep with me now or not?
It's a video game. It's like a video, and there's like
right,
cases of guys, you know, who met like girls on Tinder or girls that met guys on Tinder, and like they just have sex, and then while they're in bed, they're just like already.
痛いよこれ。
ひどい。What about Spain? And then we'll end.
Yeah, Spain actually is an interesting case because there are still a lot of people that you've mentioned, you know, that do the
that's like Italy, Spain, France,
like
kind
the
of
southern,
Mediterranean, Europe.
It feels so terrible. Honestly, please don't. I don't think Japanese people do this, but please
you don't
do
like it?
I think it feels terrible.
Why?
Because you feel like a very cheap kind of, you know, girl that just pretty much stands there on the road and can be bought for. Like,
do some girls respond to that? You think? Or no, not to the.
I mean, I wonder because if guys keep doing this for generations, does it mean that someone agrees? Because I cannot imagine I cannot imagine how desperate a girl or a woman should be to even.
When I was in my like early 20s, I would be like, wow, hey, how's it going? Now I'm like in my own brain, I'm just like, wow, she's cute.
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just my female point of view, but like the more respect you show at the beginning, and you can fake it if you want, but you know, looking at your face right now, like it doesn't have to, you don't have to be like, oh my lady.
Like that's annoying too.
Well, I'm sure don't overdo it, but just when you treat someone like they're literally gonna jump into bed with you right now, and like, hey,
so you honestly don't like when a guy comes up to you and talks to you?
Well, again,
what if they're really good looking and your type?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's the.
I think that's the結論. Yeah. なぜか英語を思い出せなくて結論になっちゃった. Okay. Bye.
Bye.